Hi, welcome to Survival Skills. So I'm back at our fantasy build. We call it Elf. Behind me is the dragon, and if you looked at the last video, the last time this was more of a lizard than a dragon. Since then, the builder has put the teeth and the tongue and the smoking nostrils and the nice white underbelly there, and is put the frame for the wings on it. So it's starting to shape up. It's really been a pleasure to watch it grow from, concept to where it is now. I can't wait to see it when it's finished. So I just thought you might like to see that, especially if you saw the last video. And if you didn't see the last video, maybe go take a look at it so you can kind of follow along and see the progress of this place. Because I'll be back here from time to time. And you just, if you watch the videos regularly, you might want to see where it all started. We've got some really good builders here, and I think this is going to be a pretty neat to watch this place grow up. So anyway, today we want to take a look at the new ink farm. So let me flip into first person, and we're going to fly over there. So that's my place over there behind this mushroom island here. And off in the distance here, you can't really see it from here. This is the old ink farm, the one that I did that shoots the squid up in the air. So I said in the last video that it was kind of fun to watch this, but that I wanted to build a different farm because while this is fun to watch, it isn't particularly productive. So I wanted to do a different farm. I did a different farm. So we'll say goodbye to this one, and we're going to fly off this direction here, where I can. I was able to build a farm where I could drain around it, and I did a different farm design. I'm not using bubble columns for this farm. The bubble columns don't really work as advertised. At least they don't in 1.14. I don't know about in 1.13. No, before the 1.13.1 update, they kind of messed up squid spawning. Didn't mess it up, it just changed it, right? Like before that, squid used to spawn in deserts and things, and after that, they were biome specific. They'd only spawn in rivers and oceans, and I think maybe the way bubble columns worked maybe changed. Okay, so the Vitagarbia video that I saw on how to build that popcorn farm probably worked at the time, but it doesn't work now. So anyway, long story short, I built this farm. This one was done by Pixel Riffs. At least that's where I got it from. I got it from his video. And this uses fall damage. It doesn't bubble the squid up. What it does is it uses signs and fence gates to create these spawning cells right here. So these spawning cells are 1 block by 2 blocks. And it's really nice because they only allowed squid to spawn. Salmon can't spawn in these cells right here. These are all source blocks. The farm is a little bit tedious to build, but if you know how to do the scaffolding, it's just a matter of just going step by step, and it's done before you know it. It didn't take that long to do. It took maybe a couple of hours. It took me like 4 hours to think about it, and maybe 2 hours to build it. So use the signs and the fence gates to create these layers of spawning cells. We've got 8 or 10 layers of them, and then once those are made, you AFK away, over here. This is more than 24 blocks away from the farm, but I made sure that it's within 32 blocks, within 32 blocks of the far edge of the farm. And the reason for that is if I get more than 32 blocks away, the squid won't swim, and I want them to swim around so that they'll fall out of these cells, fall down these gaps in between the cells onto my hoppers down below there so I can pick up the drops. So I have to be more than 24 blocks away for them to spawn at all, but I've got to be within 32 blocks so that they'll stay active. So that was a strategy for the AFK strategy for the farm, a little bit about how to build it. If you look up, you can see that it's kind of done in layers. So they spawn in the water and then they fall down in the gaps. And I just did a hopper floor. Now I could have done a solid floor with a mine cart running along a squiggly track underneath the floor into some kind of unloading system, you know, running across hoppers or something and unloading into some chests. So I could have used a mine cart with a hopper mine cart, but I've got a lot of iron and it was just simple. I wanted to get this done quick. So since I had the iron, already had the hoppers made. So I was able to just lay down some shulker boxes. This is definitely not the most efficient way to do it. I was just wanted to quickly lay down some shulker boxes, ran some hopper lines into the shulker boxes, and then out from the edges I just ran into the hopper lines, in from there, down the middle into the shulker boxes. I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it totally efficient, but that's what I've got right now. And from AFKing overnight, I got in. You're not going to see anything when I open the shulker box, not much, because I've already taken most of it out. Actually, this is more than I thought I was going to get. More than I thought for sure. I thought there'd be like, you know, a stack if I was lucky in each one of these shulker boxes. So anyway, when those fill up, then I just break them out and I haul them over to the vault and unload the ink. So I just take it out, and I could take them all out if I want. I'm just demonstrating. So I take it out and I head over to the vault. Bear with me as I try to get straight on my typing here. So I just bring these shulker boxes full of ink here. And then I've got, I can just open the shulker box and unload it, right? I mean, there aren't that many stacks in here, but if I got like a full shulker box, I plan to hang out here for a while anyway. I just pop this on top like this, and it starts to unload into my storage system. Then I go about my business. I run around and do whatever I'm going to do while that unloads. And it gets sorted out by the item sorter. And all the ink ends up down here. So here's where I'm storing it. So I've got 4 double chests. I think it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty sure it's 4, 4, 5. 4, 5? Maybe 5 double chests. So right now I've got 1, 2, almost 3 double chests of ink. So that's 1 real world AFK night plus a bunch of Minecraft AFK nights. So that's how much ink I've gotten out of that farm so far. I'm very pleased with the output of that farm. I'm really glad I took the time to build it. It's like any of these other farms. When you think about building it, it might sound like a lot of work, but once it's built, it sure is nice to have. So I break out this shulker box here. It's going to get pulled in by the hopper. I'd like a better way to do that. There are better ways to do it. I'm very low tech right now, but it's just going to go down the hopper chain, and eventually it's going to end up in my overflow chest. So I just come on down here, and it's a long chain of hoppers, so I might have to wait for a little bit, but it's eventually going to show up in this overflow chest. Then I just take the hopper back, the shulker box back, and I pop it back in place. So let me just go back there. And let me put the shulker box back, and then you want to stick around for this because I want to show you the Guardian farm, because we're doing some massive draining on that farm, and we're starting to get some ink out of the Guardian farm, which is really great because that makes it a place that we can go for all of our prismarine needs. We've got prismarine, sea lanterns, and dark prismarine all in one spot. And am I going to get a couple more llamas out of this deal? Don't pull them in there. The last guy did that. So the last traveling trader that was here abandoned his llamas. So I got myself a couple of pet llamas over there. Looks like I might get a couple more. So, zombie, where'd you come from? Go on, get out of here. So let me go put this shulker box back in place. And we'll head over to the Guardian farm. then I'm going to come back and see what that trader's up to. So I just plop that back down and we're back in business with the storage there. And I'll come back and check later to see what more I have. So let's go to the Guardian farm. So that's a warp. We'll warp to Guardian. By the way, I'm on the GiveCraft server, so if you're an adult and you like to build and stuff, and work with other high quality people, then come join us. So let's see. I wanted to show off, first of all, here's the drop rate on the farm. So if you watched the last video, you saw this, and maybe you saw right there an ink sac. So if we stand here for a second, I'll just give it a second. You might see some of the ink sacs falling. So what's happening is up in the spawning chamber above me, up above the ceiling, all the way to the top of the monument, from that ceiling to the very top of the monument, and I'll show you the top of the monument in a minute. It's way up there. That entire chamber, and you can see how big this place is filled with source blocks of water. So it's a massive spawning pad for guardians and squid. So the squid spawn in there, and the guardians shoot them, and the squids, their ink sacs get bubbled up because we've got soul sand on the ceiling here that creates a bubble column, or it creates bubbles from the floor that bubbles everything up to the top, and then we've got fence gates at the top that create water flows that shove everything toward the middle. And I know I'm just standing still because I want to see if we can get a shot of an ink sac. I'm sure it's dropping ink sacs and I'm not seeing them. Anyway, everything gets pushed over into the middle and then drops down here. So guardians and ink sacs drop down into here. So then they go into an item sorter. So the item sorter is inside this structure right here, and then it feeds these chests. So here's an idea of what we're getting out of this ink wise. We've already taken ink out of this, so we've gotten actually more. We've gotten lots of ink out of this, and we're not done draining yet. I don't know why this one doesn't give us as much, but it doesn't give us as much, probably because of where we're standing. We do have like a track upstairs that will take you in circles around the farm so that you get an even spawns. Let me show you what I mean. Anyway, that's the ink that we're getting out of it. So we're running a track here. So this will run you around the farm. You just sit in this in AFK. And it'll take you around and cover all underneath so that we engage the entire spawning area up there. And we'll get, theoretically, we will get better spawns. So that's one thing we did to increase the productivity of the farm, is we just set this up so that it'll take you around the perimeter and make sure that we're using the entire spawning tank. So we would just sit in a minecart to do that. So if I was going to AFK overnight or something, which, geez, I can't even imagine what we would get. We've already got so much stuff, we're throwing it into a burner now. We've got automatic overflow protection on this. So if our chests down there fill up, then the excess just gets dropped into lava and gotten rid of. So overnight, I'm sure we would be sending most of the stuff to the burner because our storage is full already. The only thing that we haven't filled up are ink sacs yet. So we've been draining. So here's the progress on the draining. So we've got two sides drained. So here's where we started. So we went all the way out to the corner there. And imagine this was all water before. It was all spawnable space that's gone now. So that all the stuff that was spawning there, and then from here all the way over to there, everything that was spawning here before is spawning in there. So I've got the sugarcane already set up there to drain that side. So we're going to probably drain that out tonight. And then I've got sugarcane started on the other, or I've actually got the other side blocked off. Let me show you the top view. And what I've found is that we've had to build farms to build the farm. So we had to build a sugarcane farm to give us the sugarcane to build those curtains over there so that we can set up the curtains to drain this place. And then I've got a kelp farm over there so that we can feed that furnace and make kelp blocks. that then we can turn around and use to smelt glass to make the walls. So we're making farms to make farms. It's not quite what you call it. Geez, I can't remember her name now. But hmm, there's Il group. They do these humongous high output farms, and I used to think, what the heck for? Well, now I kind of understand. If you're going to do a big project like this, you end up building big things, like bigger things to build bigger things. So anyway, we started with the medium size, small size stuff. I sure would love to have an Il sugarcane farm or a Nimbon sugarcane farm and similar kelp farm and then the similar, mega smelter. That would be great. Um, this is fun fact. We've got this is all flooded with water, but these creepers and stuff will spawn on the sand in between sugarcane blocks. I didn't know where they were coming from at first, but that's got to watch out because they're sneaky like that. Anyway, that's going to be drained, and then we're coming around the side. So the spawning area comes all the way up to where I'm standing here, and this is all filled with water. And then the drop tube, actually the spawning area comes all the way up to here, and then we got fence gates pushing everything over to the middle, and here's where the drop tube is. It goes down to where I just showed you, where everything's dropping down. So that's how big the spawning area is, and then this is the progress on the draining. Going to do that side, and then finish off that side, and then we're going to get crazy spawns, and there are some annoying phantoms. I got chills from that. Die, 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 die. Okay. Hang on while I deal with these guys. One more, two more. One more. Out of here. Eat. Take that. Anybody else? I'm sure they'll be back. Okay, so I probably was low talking there because I was concentrating. I was trying to preserve my physical wellness. So, I think that's a good place to end actually. So that was the Guardian Farm, and that's where we're at with it. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like when we're done. We'll probably dress it up a little bit. This will give you an idea of how big it is. I love doing these big projects. If you haven't seen the Gauntlet video, go take a look at the Gauntlet video. That was the other big build that I did with this builder. And it's all done now. We've had people going in there to fight, and it's been an absolute blast. So that'll be it for this one. If you like this, please click the like button. If you have questions or comments, please leave those below. And if you want to make sure not to miss out on future videos, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you so much for all your support for the channel, and it keeps me going. I'll try to keep the content coming. There is so much to do. I doubt that we're going to run out of content anytime soon. And certainly if there's anything that you want to see, please let me know so that I can put videos up on the stuff that you guys tell me that you want to see. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.